I have a lot of time and a lot of sympathy for barristers, and I see young, newly qualified barristers especially complaining and giving out a lot about how difficult life is, and you see, without too much looking around, the attrition rate in the barrister game. In other words, you get an awful lot of young people qualifying, not so much, or not necessarily young people, but a lot of people qualifying with a lot of idealism and thoughts about justice and fairness and equity and so on, which is fair enough, and become barristers. They do the relevant course and they're called to the bar, and then they find it difficult going, very difficult going, because they need to be instructed by solicitors, they need to get experience, and it's a chicken and egg situation. It's hard to get experience if you don't get instructions, and it's hard to get instructions if you don't have experience. I understand that, I accept all that, but a lot of them fail to recognise at the outset that they are going to be self-employed persons from day one. In other words, once they have done their deviling and are on their own, as it were, they will be self-employed individuals, sole traders on their own account. And a lot of them are good at this, but many of them are not good at all. Many of them make fatal mistakes in relation to being sole practitioners and in relation to being small businesses. And they are essentially sole practitioners, small business owners. They're the business, but they need to look after their clients. Who are their clients? Well, barristers' clients is essentially the instructing solicitor. So barrister, in order to get work, must be instructed by a solicitor. So that can be very, very difficult, and you need to, if you're a young barrister, build a good relationship with solicitors and give a good service and be professional in what you do and good at what you do and so on. And it is possible. But one mistake I see many of them making, especially when it comes to being self-employed, is failing to recognise the basic commercial realities. And this is a mistake not just that barristers make, but that other small sole traders might make as well from time to time when they're starting out in business, and who don't have a sort of a penchant or a natural inclination and talent for being self-employed and a talent for acquiring clients. And by that I mean a recent incident in my situation. I had something in the district court, it needed to be taken care of. I had a barrister organised to do it. She was unable to do it, and she organised to get a colleague of hers to do it, and the colleague did it all right, and the colleague sent me an email telling me where he practiced and what areas of law he practiced in and what areas he covered, what district courts he covered, what geographical area, which was grand. So the thing went into the district court, and the barrister did his thing, and he got what we were looking for. But when I got the bill, it was an absolute haymaker of a bill. It was way over the top, quite frankly. And I know from instructing many barristers what it should have cost, and it was over the top. Nevertheless, I just took it on the chin, chewed hard, swallowed, and sent off the money to him. But when I sent the money to him, I just sent him an email confirming that I had discharged his fee, and he sent me a fee note, say, on a Monday. I discharged the fee note, discharged it on the Tuesday or the Wednesday, and I sent him an email just confirming that I had discharged it. And I never got so much as an acknowledgement. Not a thank you, not thanks very much, not thanks for the prompt payment, not thanks for the payment, nothing, not a dicky bird. I haven't heard from that barrister since. And this was a good, handy fee, a haymaker of a fee. In my view, it was an excessive fee. Nevertheless, I swallowed hard and sent it. And yet, the fool didn't even have the courtesy or the common sense to actually send me an email saying, thanks a lot, I appreciate the prompt payment, or whatever. So I'll never instruct that barrister again. Now, because there's plenty of barristers, and there's barristers who are thankful of the work and who will go over and above and charge reasonable fees and acknowledge your prompt payment and thank you for it and are genuinely grateful for the work. But I'll never instruct this barrister again. And the simple point I'm making is that no matter what profession you're in, whether you're a barrister or a plumber or an electrician or whatever, you must look after your clients. And in the case of a barrister, your client is solicitors generally. And at the very least, you need some bit of class and some standard operating procedure as to dealing with your clients, your solicitors, and acknowledging payment and sending emails and dealing with matters promptly and so on. So a great deal of time for barristers, a great deal of time for anybody trying to make a living on their own account. I've done it myself since I was 23, and that's 37, 38 years now. I have plenty of time for people like that, but they must help themselves as well. And there's a lesson there in that particular incident for other barristers and indeed for plumbers, electricians or anybody trying to make a living as a sole trader, sole practitioner or professional. Hope you find this video useful. If you do, I'd appreciate if you hit the old like button down below, smash it if you like, and you may be interested in subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot.